Merry Christmas! Welcome to Point Hard Book Club, and we're going to be chatting about Double Date by Sinclair Smith. Interesting. Alright, hi guys, I just add everybody in. Right, who am I adding in first? I always forget who I've added in. Kelly, hi Nerissa. Happy birthday, Nerissa! I just remembered. Hi Lisa, hi Kelly. Hi Josh. Ho ho ho.
Happy Christmas.
Happy Christmas.
Love the nose.
Are you okay? Oh, it's hurting. I'm going to have to take it off in a minute.
It does look like it might hurt.
I'm sure I've got lipstick all over my teeth as well. Right, who am I missing?
Where are you? You look like you're in a ski lodge.
Yeah, I do look like I'm in a ski lodge. I'm at my dad's house. So I'm in the back room. My dad's just sitting over here. He was like, I want to see what you do.
Hi, Shelley's dad.
Josh said, hi, Shelley's dad.
He's
coming around. You'd have to come around here.
Good
Oh dear. Yeah, they're all saying, because this book dad was set in a ski lodge, so they're all thinking that I'm in a ski lodge. So I didn't even plan that. Hi Amy, you all right?
Yeah, I've really put the Christmas stuff in. I am wearing Christmas jumper.
Oh right, I'm just missing Georgia.
You've got a reindeer behind you, Amy.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, my whole house is very
Oh, everyone's saying hi, Shelley's dad. Hi, Georgia. Oh my life, Georgia.
What have you done to yourself?
What's wrong? You're all right.
What? Everything's just normal.
Oh dear, that's so good. How have you done that?
Kurt just got annoyed at me.
Was it the hair cutting salon?
It was.
Well, thank you all for joining me. Yeah, everyone's saying amazing, Georgia. That's so good. Georgia's got some scissors like poking out of her head like the book. Hang on, it's all right, I'm at my dad's house, so look, there, see at the bottom there. So good.
Hello, Shelley's dad.
They were saying hello, Shelley's dad.
Hello, guys.
I really wish that had happened in the book.
Yeah, that would have been cool if it happened in the book.
Yeah.
What, Shelley's dad making an appearance?
Yeah, that's it.
That would have made more sense.
It would have. I might have to take this nose off in a minute. It's really hurting. I'll see how I go. But I've accidentally looked like I'm in a ski lodge. I didn't plan that, but yeah, it does look like it. But yeah, thanks for joining us. So joining us this evening are three brilliant guests who are no strangers to the book club and wonderful friends of mine. Who I inflicted this book on. So we have the brilliant Amy McCaw, author of Mina and the Undead trilogy, A Taste of Darkness anthology, and upcoming They Own the Night, which is a Dracula retelling set in the 80s. Yes. Oh, can't wait. Oh, tell us some more, Amy. I need to know more.
Josh has read a good chunk of it, so Josh can tell you as much as I can.
It's good.
So my vision, Dracula is a rock star called Vlad who has fled society mysteriously, and a young reporter is invited to interview him, hence consulting Josh, the young reporter friend in my life. Lie between my Jonathan Harker and Dracula. Meanwhile, Mina is back on campus investigating a string of gory murders, and she's Jonathan's sister as opposed to love interest in my version.
Oh, I can't wait. When's that out? Just remind me, Amy. I should know.
No, it's fine. It's bounced around October originally, then September. You know, you're the author. You're just like, yeah, whatever. It'll come out at some point next autumn.
Oh, yeah, can't wait. Oh, yes, Merry Christmas, love the scissors, Leonie says. Oh, and we have brilliant Georgia, who's had an accident clearly at the hair cutting salon today.
racist, Georgia.
Oh dear. So Georgia is author of Mark of the Wicked and co-host with Cynthia Murphy of the Delete My Browser History podcast, which is so awesome. Like, always makes me giggle. And Georgia's currently writing all things vampires. So tell us a little more about what you're working on, Georgia, at the moment.
Wow, it's kind of it's not been announced yet, but I'm hoping it will be announced next year. So, but it's completely different from Mark of the Wicked. So Mark of the Wicked was a like kind of thriller horror type thing, and this is a like rom-com type thing, but it does have vampires. So yeah. So
can't wait.
Hopefully I'll be able to share. Maybe you guys could help me share next year when it's announced.
Yeah, definitely, 100%.
My copy of it.
Yes.
Excited.
Georgia has read me a couple of the chapters and they have me howling with laughter. They're so
good. Oh,
thanks, Josh.
Oh, can't wait. It's going to be brilliant, yeah. And then obviously we've got the brilliant Joshua Winning with us, author of The Shadow Glass, Burn the Negative, and The Amazing Heads Will Roll, which I just see on everyone's TBRs everywhere all the time, which is brilliant. And what can we expect in the new year from you, Josh?
Heads Will Roll comes out in paperback next year.
Oh, yeah.
So that's exciting. And then I'm just kind of like working away behind the scenes. I've got a book that's coming out in 2026 that hasn't been announced yet. But that's the main thing I'm going to be working on next year, I think. So yeah, I'm going to be beavering away.
And me and Josh might be doing something exciting. I've got to get sorted in the new year. Maybe witchy related on Instagram lives. So yeah, I've got to sort it out though. Need to get organised. Oh, you know what I'm like. Oh dear. Lisa said, "Oh, Amy, the new book sounds so good. Can't wait."
I think I have to talk about it. Do you get this, Josh, where a new book comes out and you're like, "Oh God, I don't know the blurb of this book."
Yeah. Yeah. As soon as you finish writing it, it's like, okay, that's done. Forget all about it. Move on to the next thing.
Yeah. Into like a little bite size. I'll get better. I can do the Mina books. I'm sure I can learn again for the new one.
Oh, bless you. And Karen said, "Josh, I need a sequel to The Shadow Glass."
Ooh.
We all do.
Yeah. That's on my
own.
Santa wish list. Oh dear. So thanks guys for joining me. I'm going to sneeze as well. That's going to be really awkward in this nose. I can feel it. Trying to stop. That's why I paused for a second. I was like, I'm going to sneeze. So thanks guys for joining us, and we're going to be chatting about Double Date by Sinclair Smith. So far we read Dream Date by Sinclair Smith, which I did with Josh, and then we read The Diary, which we did with Georgia and Cynthia. So I think this might be Amy's first one we've discussed Sinclair Smith. So yeah. The tagline on this one is "Dating can be deadly." Ooh, deadly indeed. So there'll be spoilers ahead, probably from the offset for this book. So if you don't want to be spoiled, come back later. But it all starts in 8th grade, where Tracey, who fancies a boy called Travis, pretends she doesn't to the popular girl in school who's basically just laughing at her. And then Travis then pretends to slit Tracey's throat for saying such a thing, and thus beginning the revenge plot of all revenge plots, the pranks to beat all pranks for revenge. So jumping forward in time a few years after the above events that we've just mentioned, Tracey and her boyfriend Kyle, who love double dating, decide to spice their relationship up and go on a double date with Travis and his girlfriend. Now he's all grown up and hot and stuff. So he takes them to like a 1920s hunting lodge, complete with moose head, called the Normandy, where Travis attempts to put his revenge plot into full action. But what Travis doesn't count on is that there's someone else in the 1920s hunting lodge complete with Moosehead. And he's watching them and playing his own pranks on them. So yeah, so this was kind of a story of two halves, I think. But we'll start with Tracey. So what did you think of Tracey as our main character, Josh?
I do have to say first also, we've got Tracey, we've got Travis, and we've got
Yes.
Tina.
Yeah.
I got so confused.
Yeah.
Like, wait a minute, let me
All
just
the
Same.
cheese.
get it in my mind.
All
Yeah.
the country.
She,
Yeah.
she's pretty basic. I quite liked her at first because she like brushed off the rumors after what happened with her and Travis in the burger joint. You know, Kyle is like, oh, her friend kind of says, oh, everyone's talking about you and Travis, and she's like, rumors, brushes it off.
Yeah.
And she's like self-aware enough to know that she just wants to be popular.
Sorry, I just
You
had
were
to take
saying
that off. I do apologise. I'm done. I'm there. Oh, it was hurting.
It's still got a nose.
No,
Um,
it's like made my nose red.
oh
Look.
no,
Oh no, never
like the
mind.
reindeer.
Yeah, Rudolph. Sorry,
But
Josh.
she's quite gullible and slow, and she does some quite silly things. I did love that she just abandoned the car and ran when she heard a gunshot, even though it was sort of like, would you run into the open when you were already safely hidden away in a car and there's someone potentially with a gun? I don't know if that's the wisest thing to do.
No,
Yeah.
definitely not. She wasn't very sensible.
Yeah. The one thing that I think was good was that I was glad that she stopped being gullible by the middle of the book to a degree. Like they played so many pranks on her, and every time she was surprised by them, and it started to get a little bit like, come on, love, you know, wise up a little bit. So I was glad that they did that,
Yeah.
but I didn't love her the way that I've loved other point horror sort of leads.
Yeah, I agree with that actually. Yeah, she annoyed me to start with, but then she grew on me throughout the book, definitely. How about you, Amy? What did you think of our Tracey?
Similar to Josh, really. There's different types of point horror heroine, isn't there? There's ones who've got tons of agency and they know what's what, and they kind of propel the book forward, and that wasn't her. I felt like she just got dragged along by the book and seemed a bit confused by the whole thing. And if they played one more prank on her that she fell for, I think I was going to chuck the book, because honestly, like, Tracey, come on. Like, we read point horrors, we saw through the first couple of pranks.
Yeah.
Probably we knew were pranks, but I was getting quite frustrated that she just didn't.
Yeah.
She didn't. But I think as the book went on, it felt a little bit like when she was at the hunting lodge, like she finally did take charge a little bit and try to save her own skin and her friend's skin. So I felt like she got better as a character and as kind of a point horror lead as it went on.
Yeah, definitely. I agree with that. How about you, Georgia? Did you like Tracey?
She was, she was
No.
so as the guy said, when she kind of had a little bit more about her towards the end, like when she started kicking the door down out of nowhere, like some kind of ninja, like hidden skills from nowhere. But leading up to that point, she was she was very passive, just sort of being taken along on this. Sorry, but it wasn't a double date. Like I don't know why it's called double date.
Barbecue.
Yeah,
she was promised barbecue food.
Barbecue.
Did not get it.
Barbecue food would be the worst food to eat on a double date. Like in America, it's like meat in like barbecue sauce, isn't it? Basically,
Yeah.
That would be terrible.
Yeah, but she missed out there because she didn't get the barbecue.
I'm sure we're going to talk about this a lot more.
Oh, you're here. We can hear you.
Sorry, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can
Sorry,
hear
I think
you.
I've got a bad signal.
That's no problems.
Yeah, she had this like constant commentary going on, and there was a lot of telling and not showing, but like particularly with her. And when they went like, oh, I'll have coffee, I hope the cup is clean, and all these like insane, completely irrelevant asides. Anyway, so yeah, not a fan of Tracey.
No.
On that day, the cleanliness of the coffee cups was what she should be concerned about.
boyfriend's a
Yeah,
dickhead.
Yeah. To be honest, when I started reading it, it didn't. It just my mind was wandering so much that I really don't remember the beginning very much. And I was still unclear as to like who was with who. And then when they were like, yeah, Christy is his cousin, I was like, what the hell is happening here? What is this book?
Oh, I'll give you all the treats. All the treats.
that's the joy.
Yeah.
You never know which one you're going to get when you're reading it. Point like, is this going to make sense, or is it going to be a complete incoherent mash?
Yeah, funny enough, Amy, I must have done this book when I used to do the book club on my blog, like many years ago, and I was looking down at the comments because we used to write our reactions in the comments, and Amy's comment was still there, and Amy was like, "I'm not sure about this book."
Have I had this before? I mean,
Yeah,
I've completely blocked it out. That shows.
I've made
Can't
Amy
think
read it
why.
twice.
Yeah, can't think why, Amy.
At the end of it, I was like, was the ghost real? Like,
Oh, that was so random. Yeah, we definitely will have a chat about the ghost.
yeah,
But yeah, for me, I totally agree. Like Tracey, like why? I just don't. I think I wrote in my notepad the whole time, like like she just was frustrating me. But she did grow on me by the end. I thought, she was trying to save her friends, even though it was some elaborate plot that the guy had, like to try and escape. But she did try. Bless her. But yeah. But she kind of went along with stuff as well at the start, which I found really like tedious. She was just like, okay, spice things up in their relationship. Let's go on a different double date. And then there was like a scene where she says that they only go out on Fridays, but then all of a sudden it changes to they only go out on Saturdays. So I think that was like an editing thing. And I was like, is it, or is it a Tracey thing? Couldn't tell.
I also
Did
feel
you?
like you're teenagers. What do you need to spice up? You haven't become jaded. Like you're not an old married couple. Surely
Yeah.
things are pretty spicy already.
Yeah.
From some of the dialogue, Josh, I don't think they were teenagers. I think they were 80-year-old people. I think this is actually time traveling story.
You never
They were
know.
ghosts.
Point horror.
They were
Yeah.
all ghosts.
So, yeah. There was a bit where like Tracey, I think she was at the lodge, she was going to investigate something, and like all this weird shit had started happening.
Yeah.
And I think, was she carrying a candle, or there was firelight?
Something.
And she's in this
like
awful, like terrible, like, are we going to die? But at least I'll be warm, she thought, smiling to herself. I was like, you are
She was a proper
crazy.
psycho.
She was.
At least you got our priorities straight. We all need a bit of warmth.
Oh,
dear. Did you have a favourite Tracey moment, Amy, that happened?
I did. Not so much moment as sequence of events. I think I liked it at the end. A lot of the early Blah stuff, I just couldn't deal with, or I couldn't deal with any of them. Much to redeem them in the characters. However, I did like it when at the end she was like, okay, I'm the only one who's conscious. I'm going to go and try to help. I liked it when she finally took charge, and because otherwise it was just a string of complete irritation up till then.
Yeah, definitely. How about you, Josh? Did you have a favourite Tracey moment?
I had two favourite Tracey moments. The first one is where I feel like she genuinely felt this way, but she kind of, when Laughing Bill hacks off her hair, she's like, oh, I look quite stylish. She's really happy about it.
Do you know how I saw that play out in my head? Like in Love Actually, when Keira Knightley goes, I look quite pretty.
Yeah.
I look quite stylish.
Yeah. I was thinking about the Brady Bunch movie when Jan, was it Jan? Yeah, Jan cuts off all Marsha's hair, and Marsha's like, oh,
Oh, yeah, that was
and my
great.
second favourite Tracey bit, which kind of sums up how ineffectual she was as a point horror sort of final girl, is that she decides to cut Laughing Bill's cheek with the mirror. But she
Scratch it.
doesn't. Yeah, she scratches his cheek, and then she thinks that is gonna, completely derail his entire plan. Like,
Even
she's
though it's
really
already
going
got
for
a
something
scar.
quick. Oh, I like my scar.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tracy.
So, I do have a favourite Tracey bit because I had to reread it, and I swear that I'm right. Right. So the bit where, I think Laughing Bill goes off in the back, and then Travis is kind of like indicating to her to pick up the broken glass. Now I think he was indicating pick up the broken glass, cut me
And
loose,
free me.
let him free
Yes.
me. But she's like picked up the broken glass, pocketed it, and like, yeah, I'm gonna slash his face.
No, not slash him, scratch him.
Yeah.
Scratch him. But yeah, so she could have she had enough time to free her friends at that point, or one friend at least. And he could still pretend to be tied up, but she didn't. But I think Travis was trying to get her to do it, and no, she didn't.
Can I tell you my favourite Tracey line?
Yeah.
It's when they're fighting outside, and Travis has just bought, the shovel. He's like, Blockhead. This isn't the favourite line, by the way. Laughing Bill. He could have been nicknamed Blockhead Bill. I think there's only one blockhead around here, Tracey. But anyway, and then Bill's like, oh, all right, I'll leave you there, Bill growled. And then Tracey says, but he'll freeze. He doesn't even have a coat on.
She's just being caring.
I don't think Laughing Bill will care that he's not got a coat on.
And I think he says as much. He's like, oh, well. Don't care.
Yeah, he actually says, what do I care? Oh dear, so funny.
Oh, bless her.
Blockhead.
Kelly put, it annoyed me how Tracey and Travis are similar names and main characters in the same book, which is what
So
Josh
confusing.
said. Sharon said Tracy's gullible and daft. Kirsty said only if you zigzag, but I've obviously got behind on the comments. I'm not sure what that was too.
Shooting if you're running away from a car,
or a snake.
Oh,
that's how you should run away from a snake, apparently.
Oh, okay. Is that
I don't know.
When Kevin runs away from me, he runs in a zigzag.
Oh, there you go. Maybe I'm giving you bad advice, Shelley.
Come back.
That's how you get away from Penny as well, actually.
I'm going to try this. Sharon said grew on you like fungus. I think that meant Tracy. Narissa said pretty sure I got pretty exasperated when I read this one. Lol. Yes, they only got coffee, Narissa said. Yeah, they only got coffee, no cocoa, no barbecue.
Krista was too busy dancing.
Gyrating.
Yeah.
In her spandex dress.
Yes.
Oh, bless her.
What dress looks like. I can't.
Like a blue,
I don't
tight
Like a
thing.
swimsuit.
Yeah.
I'm thinking gymwear fabric, but in a dress. That sounds even worse than clothes. That's pretty bad, isn't it?
Oh, definitely. Sharon said Kyle was so annoying. Oh, we'll have a chat about Kyle in a sec. Kirsty said, but Travis went. Kirsty said, Travis went all out on the pranks. He must have spent a bit. Yeah, because he got all the newspapers printed and everything.
I mean, that was bonkers. And I was thinking back. I was like, did people do that in the 90s? Because we didn't have we couldn't fake photos and social media and stuff. So would someone have gone that far for a prank? Had newspapers printed out?
And then how many did he get printed? Because it sounded like multiple.
Yeah.
Commitment to the cause.
Yeah.
Sharon said I was done with Travis by the third chapter. It's pretty early on.
Thinking about you when we first met Travis, Shelley, I was like, oh, a point horror bad boy. Me and Shelley liked it. Then after about 2 pages, I was like, no. It's the wrong
He
kind of point
wishes
horror bad boy.
he was a bad boy.
Psycho
Yeah.
way.
No, he was so annoying. Kelly said she was surrounded by annoying and crazy people. I felt bad for her because what else could she do, really? Yeah, that's so true. Melina said, I think I might be in the minority here, but I had such fun with this one.
Oh.
No, I do have to just say, like, I read this one before and I didn't like it very much, but on this read, I actually had a laugh. I was like giggling away and stuff. So yeah.
I thought it was funny, but unintentionally. Like, it was the bits that you're referring to that I found entertaining, but I don't think the author meant them.
No. Yeah, the dialogue was just like it. Like, I think I texted Josh when we were reading it, and I said it reads like AI, but also it was like at middle school if a group of kids had like made a play together.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's so true.
Because I just can't tell you who the difference between Travis and Kyle really. Like everybody sounded the same.
Yeah, no, definitely. And I think, didn't we, when we read the diary, I'm sure there was a couple of characters in there and we said the same, like there was some similar vibes going on.
Yeah.
Yeah. And obviously Sinclair Smith has got some type of, I don't know, fetish with scissors and cutting hair.
Yeah.
Definitely. Shaman said it was fun because it was so mad. Yeah, definitely. Scott said, I wanted to shout at Tracey to just walk away from these people who are clearly up to something. Yeah. She just didn't. She just went along with it. Kirsty said, very demure, very mindful. Yeah. Larissa said, love a Brady Bunch reference, Josh.
Oh, yeah. Classic.
Sharon said, I thought he was saying, cut me loose, not take it with you. Yeah, the glass. He definitely was trying to get her to cut him loose. And she was like, nah, I'm going to use it as a weapon. Melina put, I think the snow and isolated creepy setting balanced out the bonkers plot for me. So what did you think of the setting? Like, did you like the abandoned lodge idea, Josh?
I thought it was a cool setting. Yeah, I really like that like abandoned building with a creepy sort of hidden door, that kind of thing. Yeah, I thought it was really cool. It kind of reminded me of, in terms of like the chilly isolation, it reminds me of Slumber Party, the Christopher Pike book. Yeah, it kind of worked for me. I did like the setting. I thought it was a fun place to set a horror story.
Yeah, I just wish they'd used it a little bit more for me, like, you know, explore those like hidden passageways and explore the bit that you couldn't get up to. Just a little bit more exploring would have been good. What about you, Amy? Did you like the creepy setting?
Yeah, I love a creepy abandoned setting. I thought it was really funny as well, where they were just like, oh, by the way, my uncle doesn't own it. We've just broken in. And Tracey was like, okay, cool, that's fine. Yeah, that was, and I love a snowstorm as an obstacle for characters can't leave. I think that it just works really. It's been done so many times, hasn't it?
Yeah.
But it's that because it works, and it's even better when you don't have mobile phones in the 90s. Like no escape, no way to tell people where you are. Yeah, I think actually the setting and the atmosphere was probably one of the best things about it. If you just characters and the way they talk to each other, it's fine.
Yeah. Oh, and how about you, Georgia? Did you like the creepy setting?
I did. There was another weird bit when the snow started to fall, and one of them were like, "Isn't it beautiful?" even though they were like, you know, clearly in a sticky situation. But yeah, I think Sinclair Smith could have maybe made more of the setting.
Yeah. No, definitely. I agree. Like, it was severely underused, definitely. Larissa said, Jane Austen voice, please, Georgia.
I just slipped into it a little bit. Did you notice?
I did. I was like, oh. Oh, dear. Karen said, I thought the zigzag was for snipers.
Oh,
And then underneath that, she's put pew pew bitey bitey. But I'm not sure, really not sure what that is. Are you on the right chat, Karen?
running from Penn.
Oh yeah, maybe from Penny. Yeah. Speed Rachel said, "I knew the chat would be better than the read for me. Thanks, guys. This is why we need to discuss it." Kelly said it had a great location and premise, but as soon as it turned into being an escaped convict who happened to come by the same night, I was disappointed. So, what did you think about the whole? We'll talk about a couple of other characters in a minute because we've got to talk about Christy. But just quickly, like, what did you think about the escaped convict twist with I keep forgetting what his name is.
Laughing Bill.
Laughing Bill.
Bill.
Who laughs like me, like
I roll my eyes about some of it, but I remember Louis Stowell, when she was talking about her Dragon in the Library series, I saw her do an event and she said that it might be the first time, like you're rolling your eyes as you write it as an adult, but it might be the first kid encounter trope. So I kind of thought, oh, but then I was like, actually, to a teenager reading this, or like a 9 or 10-year-old who hasn't come across that before, it might seem kind of fresher than it appears to us when we're, thinking of the influence. So
yeah, that's so true.
I think that at some point horror books were just written like a trope list, weren't they? And like it had it all, like, the random haircut and the endless string of pranks. So they might as well throw in an escaped convict too. Like, why not?
I did quite like how early on they brought him, like, I mean, we were just over halfway, I think, when they say about him and his friend who was dead in the locked cupboard. But yeah, I thought it was different. Like, it was a different reveal for a point horror, which I kind of thought, oh, yeah, different.
Had there been any mention of a prison escape or anything at all?
I don't think there was.
No.
Because I know he said about the radio that there was a discussion about the radio and it being on the radio, but I don't think it actually had been on the radio.
That would
Yeah, because I think Tracey, he goes, "Oh, have you heard it on the radio?" And Tracy's like, "No."
No. So I think it would have been more fun if there had been some nod to it a little bit earlier, that they'd heard something. I love it. Yeah. I was just like, what is? I'd completely. It lost me at that point. I was like, you're just clutching at straws now, Sinclair Smith. I'm afraid. Sorry.
How about you, Josh? Did you like the whole convict twist?
Loved it. Absolutely loved it. Worked perfectly. No, I felt like it was really confusing.
Random.
Yeah, I didn't know what I was supposed to be caring about. I didn't know what I was supposed to be grabbing hold of within the story. I was like, okay, what actually is going on? If it is just the convict, then how weird, what a kind of a sharp left turn that was. But then there's also this stuff about a ghost sort of being thrown around as well. And then also you've got like the fake backstory that Travis made up. Like, for me, what I really wanted to happen, what I thought was going to happen, was, because it's a book about pranks, I thought that the resolution was going to be that Tina and Roger, who were the double date that got dumped by Tracey and Kyle at the start, I thought they were going to be the ones who were like really pissed off that they'd been ditched as a double date. So they decided to play like a really elaborate prank on Tracey and Kyle.
Good.
That would have been a lot more. Yeah,
but that didn't happen. We'd got this
that would have made sense.
Well, yeah, more sense than maybe a ghost or something. I don't know.
Yeah,
that definitely would have made sense. It's really weird because when I suggested, well, to be honest, I thought, I'll just get this one out of the way. Like, because I just say, I never really liked it.
Gee, thanks, Shelley.
yeah.
But on the reread, I think because I knew what was... Well, no, I'm getting ahead of myself. So when I suggested it, all I remembered about this book was that there was a raccoon in it. And I made this thing in my head that this raccoon had like some big thing to do with the storyline, right? Because that's obviously what my memory had held. So I was really disappointed that we didn't see the raccoon again. I was like, oh, what? Why did I think like it was a big plot part of the plot? But anyway,
There's a reason for that,
Yeah.
Shelley, I think.
yeah.
Really
So
big
that's
thing
all
in
I
the book,
really.
maybe.
Yeah, that's all I really remembered. But I have to say, because not that I knew what was coming, but as I was reading, it was coming back to me a little bit. I actually had a bit of fun with it because I was just hilariously laughing the whole time. Had a good fun time. But yeah, I always remember thinking like the convict twist, like at the time when I first read it, was a bit like, okay, this is random, very random.
When she's in the cupboard with the dead guy,
She kicks the cupboard.
Well, and I really liked her at that point. I was like, yes, you go. It was like Kill Bill style.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But when she puts her hands out and she's like, it's all dark, and she says she feels something that's heavy and soft, right?
And hairy.
Yeah, and I'm like,
Bubbly.
heavy and soft, heavy and soft.
Lucky boy.
She's talking about his shoulder. Now, if I just encourage you all to touch your shoulder,
Touch our shoulders.
does that feel heavy and soft? I think that's what she says. And then she reaches up his neck to his face, and it goes on and on and on. And she keeps reaching and reaching, and then another paragraph, and she keeps reaching. So, like, how long is this guy's neck? She's in the cupboard with some kind of mutant. And
maybe
then
it
finally,
wasn't his neck.
Oh,
Just saying.
Shelley.
Oh God, I don't want to think about that.
What was it, Shelley?
Yeah. Was it
Raccoon?
soft and heavy?
It's the raccoon. See, I told you it had a starring role.
Oh, and I think at that point, it just completely, and because there was all these little hints about the ghost, but it was so unclear, like what was happening, I think.
Yeah.
And because the convict came out of nowhere, that they weren't really aligning with each other. So what could have been like some real, because when he was chasing after and he started choking, I was like, what the hell is going on?
I was like, is he
read it again?
up?
I was like, what's he choking? Did she secretly give him like a, did she shove something in his mouth? Like, are we? I was, and then it did, yeah. And then she didn't say about him choking until the very end, and I was like, oh.
It was very the whole ghost thing. Like I just saw Speedway Chick said, I need to know more about the ghost, but like I don't really know what to say about it because it was so. It's like she didn't know how to end the book, but it was the most random thing, and I was like, I was here for it, but I was a bit confused.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
what
will
did
say
you
though,
think?
so the one thing that I did like was that there was a real dead body in
Yeah.
the book. Because when she was like fumbling around in the cupboard, I was like, oh, she's gonna think it's a dead body, but it's gonna be a mannequin for some reason.
Yeah.
But the fact that it was a dead body, I was like, oh, okay, well done, Point Horror, because it normally is just sort of like a fake out.
Yeah, definitely. And it reminded me of that scene in the Goonies with
That's what
Chunk.
I was. Yeah, I was thinking of that as well.
Yeah, like when he finds the frozen body.
So stiff.
Yeah, Tracey was going, it's stiff. No.
Nathan, and he loves it, but every time I get to that bit, I'm like, oh God, I just skip past it.
Yeah.
Like, oh, deep in the cupboard with Chunk. Yes, that's what's happened.
I felt like when I was reading it, because I'm trying to write at the moment, and when you're writing and it's just absolute trash, and you write like she walked into the room and looked around with her eyes, and then she turned the light switch on with her hand, and it felt like Sinclair Smith was just panicking and perhaps hadn't thought what this story. She was like, right, okay, it's going to be called Double Date. Okay. They're going to go on and then we do this, and it was so random. that it just didn't work. And there was the dialogue was so bad. Like I said, it was really difficult to know who was talking because everyone was the same. But there was, like I said earlier, I think she was writing like how people would have spoken as teenagers when she was a teenager, maybe a bit.
Yeah.
There was this bit where it was like, well, this fella's really got a, you know, and you just, it was really strange. There was one bit where I've just got to tell you this bit. There was one bit where she kept saying, we're going to do that all right. And they kept using the same, here we go. Where is
I remember
it?
that bit. Yeah.
It appears on like 3 different pages where she's like, yeah, he's gonna get what's coming to him, all right. Oh, that's Rust, all right. Yeah, this is gonna get out of hand, all right. And God, I was just like, oh,
you was like, all right,
yeah, all right.
Get 'em off.
And you know, when you're writing and you say, oh, that's really good, and you get to it like 3 lines later and you say good again, you think, oh, I can't say that, I have to change it, has to be great. But on one page it said it like 3 times. I was like, what is happening here? I don't think it was edited.
My favourite was the gas station guy, who he yells out, "You tried to break my window. You want to destroy me, thieves, criminals. Calm down."
Oh, do you know what that reminded me of? Because I'm being forced to read The Faraway Tree at the moment, and it reminded me of, because again, that's another one where you read it and you think this is so badly written, and it's like whenever the children look through a window at somebody and then like an angry pixie or somebody comes running out going, "Go, get away from my window." It reminded me of that.
Oh, that
dear.
poor little gas attendant. Oh, bless him. Oh, Amy, did you like the ghost aspect, like the strangling at the end?
No, I do. I think that she just list of point horror ingredients. I really do, and just threw them in, attempt to mix them together. And I was really confused by it being a fake ghost that Travis had made up, but then was also actually a real ghost. It was just a real book of convenience, wasn't it? That happened to be an escaped convict, and they happened to stumbled across a real haunted house to go on haunting story. Like, by the end, I was like, I just don't know what's real and what's not in a good way, like not in a kind of trying to predict. I just got like a bit complacent about it. I think, oh, another random strangling, random choking.
Too random.
And a ghost book, so when it's done badly, I think it's really disappointing. I get back. This just wasn't it.
And I want to know why the ghost killed the friend off first.
Yeah.
And not Bill. Like, was the friend worse? Like, why did that happen?
Maybe the ghost was worse than Laughing Bill. Like, with Mr. Real Treat missing the character completely. Like, they got killed off. See them. And what was their name? Did he have a random name as well, or was he just, you know?
Was it
something beginning with T?
His name was Bill Burke, wasn't it? Oh, Jack Whelan, I think his name was.
Did you not get like a fun name like Laughing Bill? Like,
no.
You know,
I've just
Gyrating Jack.
Gyrating Jack in the cupboard.
Just Jack.
Just Jack.
Oh dear, yeah. So, not sure about the ghost aspect. Larissa said maybe I'll give it another go now that I know what to expect. Yeah, because that's what I found. Like, I did enjoy it a little bit more for the wrong reasons, but still enjoyed it. Larissa said, as it was not what I was expecting, hoping from a Sinclair Smith, but love her other stuff. Yeah. Kirsty said more speakeasy settings. Oh yeah, I love a speakeasy or secret passageways. That's what I mean. That lodge was so underused. Like, she could have done so much more with the lodge. Definitely.
Yeah, because she didn't, unless I just blocked it out and just completely, you know, drifted while I was reading it. But she didn't like go around looking like through all the rooms. Like, were they? Was there, or did I miss that? Were they in the kitchen?
Yeah,
in the kitchen.
No, even though she was starving, she didn't even go to like look for food, and Bill had stole all the snacks.
Do you know what?
I mean, he's got
I
his
actually really
priorities.
liked Bill,
I'm gonna
even though the twist itself was completely ridiculous.
Yeah, I love the way, like, I think when they hit him over the head with the shovel, he goes, "Go!"
Yeah.
Oh dear.
There was a really weird description of his eyes where it says that his eyes were perched on his face, and I was like, "What?"
for a minute. I was like, I thought we were dealing with a fish man or
Yeah.
something, but no.
Oh dear. It kind of reminded me, like, I imagined him and Just Jack, like, as like the villains from Home Alone,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
really trying to scare these kids, and then like this bloody Tracey's doing his head in. Yeah.
Funny. I loved how he was like, now let me explain my plan, and he spends like 5 pages explaining how he's going to kidnap her and what role she has to play. Like, it's like doing Amdram theatre or something.
Oh dear.
And then when Tracy's response to all of this explanation of his plan is, you can't mean what you're saying.
I mean, it was a very elaborate plan. Like, I mean, at this point, he doesn't know the police are actually after him. Well, I suppose he's escaped from prison, so they're going to be after him. But it was a very elaborate plan to get to Canada, wasn't it? Really,
have to be, you know, as high profile as you can. You know, kidnap a teenage girl. That's going to make you really fly.
Yeah.
Oh dear. And it's when he's talking about the friends, like, she's like, "Oh, you can't possibly leave them all that time." It's like, you better hurry.
Yeah.
How long can they go without water?
And also, he's really upset about the radio description of
Oh
him.
yeah,
When he's like, oh,
because
they
it's
make you sound like a bug.
unfavourable. Yeah.
Oh, we did love Bill. Yeah. He was great.
It
We just
did make things a bit more interesting, and I feel like Sinclair Smith tried a bit harder on his dialogue.
yeah, definitely. She had to make him as sinister as possible, but it was just quite funny in the end. Larissa said, "I'm a sucker for a snowstorm thriller setting, a slippy situation." Yes. I think this is to do with the zigzagging. I think I got a bit behind. Speedway Chick said, "I like the scene where Tracey was feeling the dead body in the dark." Yeah, which is what we said. Oh, that was so funny. Oh dear, I think that's like etched in my brain like forever, that one. Lisa said, "I liked how random the escape convicts was. It came out of nowhere." Yeah, it was literally, out of nowhere. Kirsty said that would have been an amazing twist, what you suggested, Josh. Yeah. Speedway Chick said this would have been much better, Josh, and the title would have made more sense. Yeah.
What can I say?
It really would. That's it. Scott said it did feel like Smith was just throwing random ideas into the story. And Narissa said the raccoon was too busy eating the barbecue that they didn't get. I know the raccoon, he sounded right cute. Kelly said, "I did think that Tracey was ranking them, or would get her own back in some way. Strange to bring the well, that would have been so cool as well.
That would have been good.
Yeah, that would
much
have
better.
been.
Yeah.
Like, oh no, not poor innocent me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that would explain why she kept saying such crazy things, like all these weird sides. Do you remember, was that bit where they were talking about how butchers paint meat with blood?
Oh, yeah.
And she's like, makes me want to go vegetarian. And then they're like, oh, actually, we're quite hungry.
She literally had no food the whole time, bless her.
Must have been famished, as they say. In the 1990s.
Rather famished.
Yeah.
Lack of food.
Yeah. That's probably why she was imagining the ghost and all sorts. Kirsty said, "Now we know the origin of the title Kill Bill because of kicking down the thing."
Yeah.
Sharon said, I like the little end of chapter bits about the Watcher, but ultimately an anticlimax. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It
So
really
we had
was that.
those, like,
Yeah, that slipped off, didn't it?
italics.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, oh, someone's watching them. And then it was just a bit like disappeared, stopped.
But it didn't sound like Kill Bill. It didn't sound like Laughing Bill's voice, really,
No.
those little bits. So maybe it was the ghost.
Oh, yeah, maybe that was the ghost. Oh, yes, definitely. Scott said, yeah. Scott said, yeah, it felt like she was just making it up as she went along. Most
Poor old
definitely a
Sinclair.
pantser, Kirsty says. Oh, bless. Speed Chick said, was that a real scene at the petrol station? Like, was the shopkeeper in on the gag? I
Right?
don't think he was.
No. Poor guy.
Oh, no, bless. Narissa said, very goosebumps to have a fake and real ghost. Yeah. Speed It said, yes, I got Home Alone vibes as well. Yeah, definitely. Sharon said, I loved when Laughing Bill said, great, we can go for hamburgers.
Oh, come on, girlfriend.
Let's go. Sarah says, hi, Georgia, all good wishes to you.
Hi, Sarah.
Oh, hi, Stargazer. Oh, gosh, I nearly missed it. I'm glad I saw the live button. Oh, thank you. So talking about other characters then. So obviously we had Christy, who was like Travis's girlfriend, who turned out to be his cousin because, you know, it was just another prank. So what were your thoughts on Christy, where she likes to dance?
She
Backstory, I just didn't understand why she kept changing her mind. Like, I study this thing, but I also volunteer at this place, and actually I'm going to study something completely different. I was like, I can't. I actually thought she might be the mastermind behind it all at one point.
Yes, that's what I thought, yeah, at some point. I thought she's got to be in on it.
I
thought it. No.
I was not impressed.
It was weird that she would go along with this double date with her cousin and wear a tight spandex dress for it.
Yeah.
And then the scene, which I've already mentioned to Josh, where they're in the car and she's like, get me some mints. I just love mints. And then like he's like, here's your mints then. She's like, I don't even want those mints.
Oh, dear.
She was just, and then she did that classic. It would have been so good if she saved the day at the end, but she did that classic, like, jump on him and scratch his face, like, screaming, and then got thrown off, which was really disappointing. But yeah, it was very strange. Because the bit where she was gyrating in the bar, and everyone was watching, it's not clear. Well, I had to read it a couple of times, and I was like, it said everyone was watching and hee-hawing each other. And then including, it looked like, Kyle and Travis, which is kind of weird.
Yeah.
That's his cousin. But then I think they were in another room having an argument. I think maybe.
They were playing pool.
Right. So
play pool or,
Yeah.
So
but when
that's
they were
all right,
having
then.
that argument, I thought, oh, is this another prank that they're arguing? Like, at that point, I just couldn't tell what was real and what was a prank at that point. But I loved that scene in the bar, though, when Christy goes, let's dance, like this. And then Tracey goes, no thanks, I'm going to get a cup of cocoa. I was like, burn. Oh dear. Dropped for cocoa, which ended up being coffee. So
in a clean cup, hopefully.
She missed out there.
But from that super uber duper sexy waiter who wore a t-shirt with bulging biceps.
Yes. Him. I think I made a note about him one sec.
He was wearing a black t-shirt with
Sam.
cut-off sleeves. Yeah.
Sam the waiter. And then I've actually written down, I think I speak for us all when I say I'm so sad those biceps weren't featured more. Yeah, Sam the waiter. Tracy. Yeah, missed out there. Were you a Christy fan, Josh?
I kind of loved her energy. It was completely erratic. I love that she humoured her cousin to go along with this sort of like elaborate prank that they were playing on Tracey. And and you kind of have to respect the confidence of somebody who's just doing so many bizarre things, but just owning it all. I think I was just sad that she didn't really get to do much in the second half. She kind of disappears, and
Yeah,
then that's it.
yeah,
Just for
yeah.
Christie, I say.
The point where she figured out the thing about the car and the little whatever it was that was
The
missing from the
rotator.
car. Yeah, I thought, oh,
She's
okay. But
smart.
even they were starting to think like, oh, well, how does she know this? Like, I think they underestimated her, but then she was seriously underused.
Yeah, she
Yeah.
Definitely.
had energy, didn't she? But was just never given the opportunity to shine. Like Georgia said, she could have done the whole final girl, like actually sort of,
Yeah,
at the end she was just battered away, and that was that.
yeah. Oh, poor Krista. And the bit about the mints, like, do you remember? This is like a UK thing, but years and years ago, in like Big Brother, in like series 2, I think it was, there was a character. There was a
It was real,
person.
Shelley.
There was a person called Helen, and she used to go, "I like blinking, I do."
Yeah.
And
Oh yeah.
and I could just imagine Christy going, "I like mints, I do." That's how I read that. Oh dear. I was like, it's definitely, yeah, Helen from Big Brother 2. And Stargazer said, "Is Josh growing a moustache? I like
I'm
it."
I'm trying to be Santa, but I think I've left it too long.
He's trying.
Yeah.
Oh.
Next
Oh,
year.
no, it looks good, Josh. It looks good. Larissa said, "Oh my word, the way your eyes just went, ooh, Shelley."
Oh, Sam.
Yeah.
Oh,
Sam.
Sam. Give Sam a spin-off.
Yeah.
Triple date.
Triple. No, we don't need no more.
Georgia felt it as well. I was quite impressed at just this kind of hasty removal of the scissors, and then suddenly
Yeah, and now Georgia's
Yeah.
got like a sparkly
yeah.
hat going
Do you
on.
know,
Very nice.
I'm sitting in our garage stroke office and it's freezing.
Oh,
and so
bless you.
I was starting to get, and I thought I'll put my Santa hat on instead.
Oh, it's having the authentic ski lodge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you need a match to stay warm?
Yeah. I just love matches.
Oh dear. So obviously, Kyle is someone we haven't really spoke about. He's the love interest of Tracey. So thoughts on Kyle, Josh?
Toxic. Like,
Kyle?
he starts out playing
Horrible.
a prank on his girlfriend. Like, he says, he pretends that he's fighting Travis, and it's like, ha ha ha, we met a few weeks ago, isn't it funny? And then he then keeps pranking his girlfriend. You know? Basically just ganging up on his girlfriend, who's a complete loser. And thinks it's hilarious. So no, hated
No.
him.
No. How about you, Amy? Were you a Kyle fan?
Oh, I was just thinking, as Josh was speaking, then like, how would I rank the characters? And I think he might be at the bottom. Like the pranking, yeah, that was bad. Like, oh, she's really upset. I'm gonna keep doing it. And then the constantly eyeing Chrissy up, who I know turned out to be Travis's cousin, and it wasn't a real date, but I didn't like the way that he was just constantly like trying to chat her up, watching while she was dancing, and it was just like, no.
Yeah. No.
Tracy him and gone with Sam in that bar and avoided this whole situation.
Yeah, good point.
Definitely. Yeah, and how about you, Georgia? Kyle?
Yeah, I feel nothing for him. He was, yeah, as the guy said, he just was not a nice guy. And then again, point horror, kissing at inappropriate times, when your lives are in peril. It's just, no, I wasn't a fan. But
No.
and right at the end, he still didn't believe her. He was like, no.
But she still stays with him as well.
She still stays with him. And although she says to that girl, what's the girl's name that she says no to? I will say no.
Layla, yes.
No, Layla was her friend. That's it.
Tina.
And they're all together. And she's like saying to Tina, no, I'm not going to come and help you. And Tina shows up, doesn't she? And she says, I want to stay and spend time with Kyle. And I'm like, poor Layla. What about poor Layla? Look, what's Layla? Chopped liver? She's just I think I think that Kyle and Tracey are in a toxic relationship.
Yeah. I mean, especially as well, like when he's doing all the pranks and stuff, he goes, "Come on, Tracey, lighten up." I was like, "Lighten up!" Like,
Gaslighting.
Yeah.
I mean, if you just even think just of the prank at the gas station, like I think that's when he said "lighten up" to her. I'm like, that was actually quite serious.
Yeah.
Oh
I
yes, he made me
like
very
it when
angry.
he started saying, you know what? I think Travis is kind of like a
Yeah.
not okay guy. Some
Mm,
of the things he's been doing are slightly off, kilter.
yeah,
Yeah. And
no,
you're like, okay,
definitely.
Kyle.
Sharon put Tina coming to the house seconds after she put the phone down was hilarious. Yeah, like where was she phoning from? Like the
She
next room.
she must have ran round. Yeah.
Oh dear. And last but by I don't want to say last but by no means least, but Travis. So whether his pranks, I nearly swore them by accident. Oh God, that was nearly a really bad slip of the tongue. Were his pranks good? It nearly never came out like that.
I don't know what you were going to say, Shelley, but I'm now imagining the worst things it could possibly have been.
Well, yes,
What
we
rhymes
won't go
with
there.
pranks?
Oh,
Tanks. Yeah, so oh no, I'm not saying it again.
do it.
The pranks, good, bad. Amy, what did you think of his
They were just
pranks?
insufferable. Like, yeah, be a point horror bad boy, play one prank and get over it. But it was just the relentless nature of them. I was just becoming really first numb to them, then really irritated. And by the time I heard about the fake newspapers, I was just like, I'm actually done. He's actually sat and typed out these newspapers himself, I assume, gone, got them printed, paid for the privilege.
Cackling all the way.
Level of effort that took, and I'm still not really sure why he did it. Is it because Tracey was a bit mean to him 4 years ago? He needs to get over himself.
I mean, everyone was
Yeah.
mean to him, weren't they? It wasn't just Tracey. So why did he? Obviously, he fancied Tracey, but
Yeah, because
That
he,
was my
he
issue as well. It was like, why are you only targeting Tracey? Like the entire school hated you and thought you were a nerd. It's like go after the whole school, I say.
Oh, how about you, Georgia? Were his pranks any good? Would you have laughed?
no, I don't think they were pranks. And I think pranking is kind of an American thing. Do you think? And like to me, a prank is like, I don't know, I can't even think of anything. But it's like a practical joke,
Yeah.
and none of those things. Like pretending to fight with the shopkeeper. I just don't.
Just too
I'm really
far.
And then like
confused.
doing a tape of gunshots that you play in your car.
Yeah.
What?
Oh yeah, the gunshot tape thing. That was so weird. I was like,
Was
yes,
the random
no.
screaming fake as well, or have I misremembered
Yeah,
that? Did he have like
there
some
was.
script for the
Yeah.
when they were at the hunting lodge?
Yeah, and then
He must have been at that lodge all day getting all this crap ready,
yeah,
just thinking it was the best thing ever. And
Yeah.
bless him.
there was
No.
a weird bit where I want to say, was coming on to Tracey, I think, because I'm still confused about the dynamics of all of this. And he brushed her hair with his nose, I want to say, or something.
I must have missed that bit.
It was really weird.
Is it when they
Um,
when they discovered that they somehow were dancing together without realizing
Oh,
how it
I
happened?
think
yes.
so. Yeah, I
when they
think
were
you're
in
right.
the bar and is it in the bar they were dancing together or in the lodge when they
Yeah, in
first
the
got
lodge.
there, I
Yeah.
think.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was it. And he was
It-
trying to like come on to her a little bit.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah, that was very
not good.
strange.
Not good. Yeah, very bad. But the thing is, ultimately, did he plan a good double date? Because, we've got to think of the name of the book. Did he plan a good double date, Josh? Do you reckon?
No. Like a good double date is, you go out for a few drinks, maybe have dinner, then go to watch a movie, go to the theatre. go ice skating, do something fun. You
Oh.
don't go driving around gas stations and sort of barbecue places and then go off to an abandoned ski lodge.
I mean, to be fair, he didn't know it was going to snow and they'd get snowed in, did he?
You know, not, I don't think I've not been able to. You're giving him too much credit there. It's for lack of food. Like, if anybody took me on a date and was like, "By the way, there's no food," I'd just be like, "Later, I'm done."
Oh dear.
Like, I would have been out of there when coffee was presented instead of food. Like, I would have missed that shenanigan.
Yeah.
Oh, and it's the way they stop at the bar. Like, they could have just stayed at the bar instead of carrying on to this ski lodge, which I just thought was hilarious.
As well in America about going in bars, like, apart from in some places, like say New Orleans, weird loophole with the law where you could be 18 for a little while in the 90s. But yeah, like, when I was in like my mid to late 20s in America, I got carded all the time. So yeah, I found that really weird as well. I was like, I don't think Americans would buy this. These 15-year-olds or whatever they were.
It probably wasn't a real bar. It was probably just some actors that he'd hired to make them believe they were in a bar.
Probably the ultimate prank. No worries.
I'm just going to...
All right, Amy.
Oh,
no props. Little one. But I wrote down, so Travis said, "Let me plan the whole day, okay? I will show you both a night you'll never forget." And I was like, cue 70s porno music. Boom, tickle, wow, wow. I was like, what are we reading? Oh dear. Oh, anyway, my poor dad next door. He did go out of the room, by the way. Just to let you know
what's happening.
He's like, what is going on?
You read this as a child, Sean?
Yeah. Oh no. Speedway Chick said Travis must have had a tough upbringing and needed to play pranks to get attention. Yeah, that's true.
That's very compassionate.
Yeah. Very, yeah. And she said, Speedway Chick said, getting punked in America seems to be popular.
They're obsessed with talking about that on film sets. It's like a lot of journalists kind of like, "Ooh, did you play pranks on each other behind the scenes? Who was the biggest pranker on set?" And it's like, guys, we're doing a job.
Yeah.
What do you mean are there any pranks?
Funny
enough, at my work.
Funny enough, when a few years ago, I think it was like 2019, I went to Telford Comic Con, and it's a really long story, right? But me and my friend Tom managed to somehow get on the front row of the panel for the Smallville cast, right? We shouldn't have been anywhere near the front row. Like, our tickets were not for front row.
Restraining order.
Yeah.
So like we was right near the stage, and anyway, when they asked for questions at the end, I was like, I'm on the front row, this is my opportunity to speak to Tom Welling and like Michael Rosenbaum. So I put my hand up. Anyway, they give me the microphone and I panicked, right? And I was like, did you play any pranks on set? Because that's the only thing I could think of. So there's this video that my friend had taken of me saying, did you play any pranks on set? But they answered it really, really well. And like, they carried on for quite a while talking about all these pranks. So I thought, well, in hindsight,
yeah. I'll eat my words, Shelley.
Oh dear, it was a panic question, Josh. I panicked. I didn't expect them to come to me that quick. I thought I had time.
Say the other word that you almost said when you tried to say pranks.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But it was really cool because like. When they did, Michael Rosenbaum said, "Oh, everyone come forward and we'll do like a group shot." So there's me and Tom, like right at the front, like behind them. It was like, it was fantastic. It was the best day of my life. And then he high fived us on the way out, and just my little heart. Larissa said, "I hate pranks and practical jokes, so I would have been out immediately." Scott said, "I thought Travis came off as just unhinged." Stargazer says, "Not popular with this American. I hate pranks." Yeah. Larissa said he planned an expert way to end up single. Travis, yeah, definitely. Oh, Nerissa said, I just thought it was an eatery with a bar. Oh.
Mm.
And Kirsty
Diner.
said, I saw something about taking donuts to set, meaning you got lucky the night before, except on the first day.
Oh.
What? Oh, interesting. So last question then. So where does this sit in? So we've read a few point horrors because you're all no strangers to the book club. Where does this sit in your point horror rankings of point horrors, Josh?
I was laughing and I was
Yeah.
shaking my head a lot and sort of like rolling my eyes. So yeah, it's pretty low in the rankings, to be honest. Sorry, Sinclair Smith. But
Oh,
it was fun. It was fun to sort of, marvel at the complete craziness of it.
yeah, definitely. How about you, Georgia?
Same. I still don't really know who was dating who. I don't know why it was called Double Date. I don't know why the tagline is dating can be deadly because there's no dating that's going on. I thought it was worse than the diary.
Oh, yeah. The
Yeah.
diary was, I thought,
In
was quite good.
comparison, the diary was a masterpiece. And
Yeah.
I've got this bit here that I don't understand what happened, and can you please explain to me? So this is near the end where everyone's explaining like
Put your Jane Austen voice on there.
no,
You've got to do it.
doesn't. There was no Jane Austen passage in this book. It's really sad. It's when Kyle is explaining what's happened, and he says, there is a secret stairway that goes all the way to the third floor. I don't remember where it's hidden, but it's there. Anyway, I was trying to run back down the stairs when I twisted my knee. To make me feel better, Bill hit me over the head.
Is he being
Did your
funny?
book say that?
What page is that?
Here I am. Page 158. It's at the top.
158. Did I get you a dodgy copy, Georgia?
I know. Like, why doesn't this make any sense?
Yeah, it does. It says that.
Make me feel better.
Yeah.
I think he means here I am and here I am now.
But why would Bill hit him over the head to make him feel better?
Just because it was
funny.
Travis.
He's
That's why.
being funny, isn't he? But
Yeah.
failing, I guess.
It's Kyle, isn't it, that's saying that?
Kirsty said just being sarcastic.
I just came back to say I'm going to have to go because Nathan's...
No worries, Amy. Thank you for
bye,
joining
Amy.
us. We're nearly done now anyway.
Merry Christmas.
Thank you. Happy
Bye.
Christmas.
So I need to go help Kev.
No
But yeah,
worries.
thank you. Have a lovely Christmas.
Thanks, Amy. Bye.
Bye.
Stargazer said maybe it was a Zen slap. Kirsty said as if things couldn't get worse. Yeah, definitely. Cameron said only extroverts like pranks, introverts prefer being left alone with books and tea.
Yeah.
And Nerissa said second to last for me in the book rankings. And then she's put, oh no, third to last because I keep blocking out the witness. I haven't done that one yet. Speedray Chick said, I think this was the worst for me. But I have had people, I know Lisa really enjoyed it. I think it's how you read it, I think. Let's just put it that way. It's how we read it. But I had fun rereading it. Although I did think the raccoon was going to play a bigger part, but anyway.
I think it was difficult. It was difficult to enjoy because of the dialogue being so bad.
Yeah, I think I was just like, oh, what's going on? I'm here for it. But once they got all the prank stuff out of the way,
I do
definitely
love that the final line is dialogue, and it's simply Kyle saying, "I can't." That's it.
I can't explain it. I can't.
Sorry,
yeah,
Melina,
Lisa.
I know you loved it.
Oh yeah, Melina loved it, and I know Lisa loved it as well. But yeah, I'm like on the fence. Like, I don't think it's the worst one out there. Like, you wait till we read The Boy Next Door by Sinclair Smith. Then you will bump this one up the rankings.
It does make the what was it, Dream Date? It does make Dream Date look like a work of art.
Yeah.
It really does. I enjoyed
And
that
I
one.
really do, yeah, I really do think that Sinclair Smith is an actual, you're going to laugh at
Person.
me, is an actual, no, horror fan.
Right.
Because I feel like she puts elements of, like, if you think of Dream Date, there was lots of different horror tropes in that.
Yeah.
This abandoned ski lodge setting, definitely. So I do think, like, the thought was there. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
Oh, and
It's a
Sharon
funny
said
one
it
because it
beats the
comes so
bride.
late. It's like a
Yeah.
1996 book, so it feels like she's dipped her hand in the big bowl of, point horror tropes and picked out a couple and then gone, I guess I'm doing these then, and just threw this together.
Oh,
Could you
dear.
find any information about Sinclair Smith?
I tried to Google. All I know is that her Sinclair Smith is obviously a pseudonym. Her name is Donna Smith.
Yeah.
But yeah, I couldn't really find much. But I'm going to carry on digging because I'd love to know a little bit more. Definitely.
I don't think she's real.
Don't you?
I think that she's the first. I think this is the first book written by AI.
Back in 1996.
Yep.
Wow. Oh, Scott said I had fun with this one, even though the plot was all over the place. Yeah, definitely had fun. Sharon said it beats the bride, and Larissa's telling me off for saying the boy next door was bad. Yeah, Lisa said I loathe night school, bottom of the pile. Yeah. Kirsty said we're point horror IP books, as in, did the authors have much say over the plot? Yeah, it could be. Yeah, they could have just had to write what they were told, maybe.
Yeah.
Never know. A lot of them just got given a title.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of them just got given a title and were left to do what they wanted with it, really. So, yeah. But guys, thank you so much for reading it. I'm so sorry that you didn't enjoy it too much, but I'm glad you had fun with it anyway.
I did. I
knew
still enjoyed reading it.
On one
it
level,
would be a bit of
absolutely
a
loved it.
yeah. I knew it would be a bit of a hit or miss book, but I had to do it at some time. I had to get it out of the way. And it's it was a bit Christmassy. It's got snow on the cover, so I was like, yeah. Oh, but thanks to everyone in the chat as well. It's bad, Shelley, but it's hilarious. Yeah, the boy next door. Yeah, it's got a very unique murder weapon at the end. Very funny. Better than a ghost.
What on earth could it be?
Yeah, we'll have to read it and then we'll find out. I'll have to do it at some point. I'm putting it off at the moment. Oh, yeah, so thanks, guys, and have a lovely, lovely Christmas.
Oh, and
this
you.
is obviously the last chat before Christmas, and then over Christmas, between Christmas and New Year, I'll do like a quiz, Shelley's dodgy quiz and Shelley's dodgy voting for the favourite book of the year and stuff like that. So yeah, but have a lovely, lovely Christmas.
Happy Christmas.
Yeah,
happy Christmas. Lovely to see you guys.
Watch lots of horror movies.
Yay!
Ooh, yeah, definitely. Perhaps we'll watch Krampus again, Josh. That was crazy.
Don't play any pranks on anybody, you guys.
May this book be a lesson to you all.
Pranks
No
aren't
pranks.
funny.
Yeah.
Yes. All right, guys. Thanks everyone in the chat as well.
Thank you.
Have a good Christmas.
Bye,
Bye.
everyone.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.